Living on the East Coast, I've been cursed to watch more Giants games than I would have liked to watch this season. And obviously, Thursday night football is nationally televised. And after watching the Eagles Giants game, one persistent problem that the New York Giants has had continued. And I think it's time for people to call it out and for Joe Judge and this coaching staff and Jason Garrett specifically to really make a change. And it's Andrew Thomas, their first overall pick in the NFL draft. They drafted him at number 4, and I hate this notion in the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL when a guy clearly isn't as talented as other guys at their position in the draft, but you draft him because, quote unquote, they're the most pro ready. Even if their physicals aren't as good as some of the other guys, even if their quote unquote potential isn't as good as other guys, they're NFL ready. They can be great right away. Even if their ceiling isn't as high, their floor is the highest in the draft. And I think that's absolute bullshit. And I think we're seeing this backfire yet again, this time in the form of a historic tackle class, a historic offensive line class, where you have so many talented players. Mekhi Becton has been phenomenal. Tristan Wirfs has been up and down, but he's been pretty good. And even Jedrick Wills has been amazing for the Browns. And then if you look at Andrew Thomas, not only has he been by far the worst one out of these guys I just named, but he's been one of the worst offensive linemen in the entire league. And I just saw him go up against an Eagles defensive line, which is good, has some good players. Vinny Curry was getting by him all day, but it got to the point where it was like the Eagles aren't this good on defense. Their defensive line isn't this good, and Andrew Thomas just does not seem quick enough, doesn't seem smart enough, doesn't seem to have the strength to handle the rigors of being a tackle in the NFL. And it's just one of those picks where you're picking at number 4. You could have picked some generational defensive talent probably and some generational offensive talent. This team is lacking talent all across the board. I thought it was a smart move to get a tackle. I thought it was a smart move to get an offensive lineman, but you got to go flashy at some point. You have to get a player who is just off the charts athletic and who's going to make a difference in the future. Not in the immediate fashion, because this team isn't made to win now. This team is geared towards the future with all these young assets they have on this team. They don't have a lot of veterans, and those veterans they do have are on long contracts. So you got to think future for the New York Giants. And, I mean, after watching the Giants play last night, after watching Andrew Thomas get toasted on every single snap, they need to fire Gettleman, and they really do need to make a change at that tackle position.